So let's talk about what is happening in our show. So like the graphics, the music, that stuff, like what, like basically like let's verbalize our credits and how they came to be. Hi, I'm Chris Lujan.
And I'm Bindu.
This is the I Ams.
Well, first of all, let's address the fact that my audio has sucked since the beginning, and I'm trying really hard.
What's that? Do I have one too? Oh my God!
It's right there.
Oh my God!
Fucking.
Oh shit.
Right. Look, I'm an old ass man yelling at a cloud, but I can still break dance most better than all of y'all. So there's that.
It's true.
Right. And we haven't even talked about my porn career. We'll get into that later. But so you wanted to talk about our credits.
Yeah, because
and
you were just
okay. So this is what I was saying.
You were just starting to talk about the music.
All right,
and so
let me break it down. All right, it's the year 2025, the year of our Lord, right? But way back in the olden days of 1996, you and I used to, as young bucks with no hair on our face, used to jump on stage, play music, and scream words at people.
Right.
And it was fucking fun.
Underground Agent 6.
That's right. Now, here we are 30 fucking years later, right? And we're still having fun together, having a good ass time.
Yes.
Now, I wanted to start my YouTube show because the pandemic taught me a great thing, right? I was making six figures being a nighttime adult entertainer. I would get adults comfortable, teach them how to paint for the very first time.
Yeah, this isn't even your porn career.
While they drank alcohol, I would play uncensored hip hop. I was a DJ, I was a comedian, I was a paint instructor. It was a nice escape for a couple of hours, and that became huge. And then the pandemic happened.
Yeah.
And when the pandemic happened in California, if more than 10 people got together, it was illegal.
Yeah.
So my six-figure job went away like that. And we stayed like that for 3 years. So my nest egg that I had saved up, tens of thousands of dollars, all got wasted away. And so that's when, during the pandemic, I realized I need to be able to come up with a YouTube show. So that way I can generate money no matter where I'm at without a crowd. So I started learning this open software called OBS, and I started learning all this bullshit, rim lights, practical lights, all key lights.
Yeah.
Right? And then sound, microphones.
Oh my God.
And all that.
It's still there.
Take it easy.
Jesus
You're at
Christ.
like a 9. Let's bring it down to a 2.5, right? Learn all that shit. But then I learned you can't play fucking music.
Yeah.
So I teach people how to paint, but I'm throwing on Al Green, and then I'll throw on some Too Short, motherfucker, depending on the energy in the room and how fun it's going to be. And you can't play any licensed music on any fucking thing, any fucking where, because of blah, blah, blah.
You'll get flagged and your video will either get deleted or you'll have a strike against you.
But I happen to know a motherfucker that A, is a musician, B, is a producer, C, owns his own studio, and D is the baddest motherfucker walking the planet Earth. Right. And I couldn't get a hold of him, so I called you.
Fuck.
Right? I called you, and you were like, no, I'm just playing, y'all. You're the man. You're the one I'm talking about. Right? Big head ass motherfucker. This guy. Right? And I'm like, I don't want to have all the music that everybody else has. I want my own music. So I asked you to create me a soundtrack which no one has heard yet.
Right.
And it's the baddest fucking soundtrack on earth, bitch!
Pretty good.
Look, you came in my house yesterday. Do you know how good your soundtrack is, motherfucker? I do.
I mean, that's not what we're talking about here, but we can talk about it. I mean, I was doing your soundtrack, and we did it so fast, meaning, you would come over.
I love how you say we.
You would come over.
I didn't do shit.
You cheerleaded.
I smoked weed and rolled joints.
You came over. In a day, we would do a song. So they happened so quick that I didn't have time to get sick of them. So they happened so quick, and then, on to the next one, on to the next one.
Yeah, because in the meantime, you have gigs.
Right.
We're in the Bay Area. You're going down to LA. You're on TV. You're doing shows in
All
LAX.
correct.
You're recording.
Yes.
You're doing shit for the Impalers.
Yes.
You're doing all kinds of shit all the time.
Yes.
All right.
So I
You're
wasn't
squeezing me in, is what I'm saying.
but I wasn't constantly listening to those songs.
Like anal with no lube.
This is what the hell, dude?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I did these 6 songs for you, and then I didn't listen to them because I was doing other stuff. So like 2 months later, I go back to listen to them, and I'm like, damn, this stuff is good.
Bad as fuck.
So, yeah.
Okay, so...
And I learned a lot from doing that, is to maybe trust my instincts. Don't labor over something so much that you're then sick of it. Anyways, we can talk about that later another time.
No,
Go
so
ahead.
you asked me what I was thinking, like to get back to what we were talking about in the very beginning. Me asking you to make my soundtrack developed into, how about we have a YouTube show first?
Right.
Right? And the fact that we make, when I say we, it's like my mom saying, we're going to clean the backyard. Motherfucker.
She doesn't help clean the backyard.
She don't do shit, right? She make a sandwich, right?
We're going to decide that you're cleaning the backyard.
Right. So you make our music, you make our jingles, you make all that shit, and it gives me a certain kind of security that separates me from the rest of the group. Because I don't like to be like nobody, man.
All right.
Look at my facial hair, bro.
Look at you.
What is happening?
You're a train.
I look like Star Wars Count Dooku with the fucking twisty mustache, leave your maiden tied up on the railroad tracks.
Count Dookie.
Count Dookie.
Count Dookie.
Right, Dookie the Worm.
So yes, so I did the jingles for this.
Right.
Right?
No, but the fact that I'm walking around knowing that I got a YouTube show and we could just make music.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Right? Who the fuck do you think you are? Right? People don't even know why we call ourselves the Ions. We'll get into that. Right? But I'm just saying. Well, who do you think you are? Right? Fuck yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So so our second episode, we were arguing about how we're gonna do all the bullshit taglines.
Yeah, the introductions and all of the shit we don't feel like we want to say all the time because it would disrupt stories. Yes.
The funny part is, off camera, you came up with this 1978's fucking jingle.
Yeah.
And because you're a music producer and you have your own fucking studio, you made it.
Yeah. So what you're talking about is the part where we say like, comment, subscribe. I guess we'll put that right here. Make sure to like and subscribe and join our Discord and Patreon. Check out our links.
Now back to the show. Right?
Right? And so that music, I just came up with a part on the roads. Well, first it was in my head, which are where the better songs come from. If I have an instrument in front of me, I feel trapped by the functionality of that instrument. Do you know what I mean? Like patterns.
I'm trying to know what you mean, you brainiac motherfucker.
As a songwriter,
the fuck do I know?
As a songwriter,
I don't know anything.
If you hear the song before you're going to play it, for me, it's a better song than if I have my guitar and it's like, oh, I could play these things. You know what I mean? So that came to my head, and I was like, well, now let me figure out how to play this. And so that became the jingle for the like, comment, subscribe thing.
Nice.
So that's just me on the Fender Rhodes.
No, but what's funny is we would be talking and you'd be telling me about your pizza shit. And you'd be like, oh, also, I think I figured out this jingle thing. I got to record it.
Sure.
Maybe you come over and help me out. And then I did it.
Yeah.
And you're like,
you were sick.
Yeah, I figured it out. Yeah, I got sick of.
I think it could sound a little bit better, but it is what it is. Maybe it sounds perfect for what it is.
It's just funny because I'm very braggadocious. I'm very, look at me.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Well, there's a bit of look at me in this because I love it.
You're very humble about shit. You're the baddest fucker in the room. You know it, so you're quiet about it. Right? I'm the baddest fucker in the room, but I want everyone to know, so I got like a neon light. Look at me, I'm the baddest fucker.
Well, I guess, see, part of that is me not feeling like I'm the baddest motherfucker in the room.
You're the baddest fucker in the room.
Well, I appreciate that, but I still have that imposter syndrome-y thing.
I know you do, but I don't.
I know.
So when
That's why I need to hang out with you, because you don't have the imposter syndrome thing about me. So you get to say all of the things that I hope I feel.
Dude, I'm absolutely insane. The thing I'm getting at is everybody else out there is using royalty-free music like Epidemic Sound. All right, I mean Epidemic Sound. If you want to sponsor us, you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna
After all of that shit talk.
I'm gonna be streaming video games. You're gonna be playing music to that.
True.
I'll be playing Dark Souls, motherfucker.
I'll be in the fucking background playing. Man, how long are you gonna play this game?
Dark Souls is.
I know,
Okay.
dude. It's been 4.5 hours. I gotta pee.
That's the intro. Y'all. He don't know Dark Souls.
So,
All right,
so that jingle happened, and then I was like, I just need to come over here so that we could use these mics to say like and subscribe and whatever, because I wanted the sound of our talking to sound consistent with the episodes. So
Sure.
that happened.
Sure. But what I'm saying is, I'm walking around as a creator, as a visual artist. I know I can draw whatever I want, right? So I could ask, could I have permission for this? And if you say no, I'll do it anyways.
Right.
I can do whatever I want. I draw whatever I can think of, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that my business partner, my heterosexual life mate, right, is not only the best musician on planet Earth, but a sound engineer, right? I can,
See, he says the things I want to.
oh my God, you can't say that shit about yourself.
Yes.
You can't give yourself, like, you know, why is your name Bindu? A 3-year-old called me Bindu because he hated my name.
Yeah.
My name is Brandon, the whitest name in the world.
You were starting to talk about that many episodes ago, and you sidetracked so much that you didn't even say that.
I know. Well, it's a whole thing.
Okay, anyways.
Right? But people from India know. Like,
Yeah.
Bindu is a girl's name.
The most flamboyant straight guy I know. Anyways,
I mean, sure.
So I want to talk about the music. I want to talk about the logo.
Go ahead.
So the outro music is a song I already had recorded. So like when you see the end credits,
Oh my God.
you hear this music.
Which is available in the links below. You can buy the whole song. It's dope.
Well, I guess we better do that now.
There's no... go ahead.
Go to Bandcamp, I guess. The song is called This Is a Test.
It'll be in the links.
Oh, there you go. So I wrote that. So there's a machine called the Tascam 388. I will try to make this quick, maybe. There's a machine called the Tascam 388 that's an analog tape machine.
I drew it.
He did draw it for the whole Son of Mustard thing.
Yeah.
And so when I got my Tascam 388, the first thing I ever recorded was that song. And that's why it's called This Is a Test, because I was testing out the Tascam 388.
When you're talking about that song, you mean the song at the end of our credits. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun, that.
Yeah. Dun-dun, 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 ba-dun, ba-dun. Yeah, that thing.
Correct.
Yeah, so when you're watching our credits, that song was...
The first song you ever recorded on your Tascam 380.
Right, so that's J-Zone on the drums. He has a great album. His name is Jay Mumford. Those drums are taken from his Lunch Breaks album.
That dude from my book?
Yeah, that's my book. Anyways, so he's gonna show you the book. This is J-Zone's book.
My book?
My book.
With my autograph on the inside?
No, see, it says Chris right there.
Oh, God damn it.
Funk on J-Zone. So this fool is playing the drums, and I looped it on the computer, and then I dumped it to the 388, and then I played the bass and the guitar and the Hammond organ, and that was going to be part of my Life of Grime record. It's not. It's an extra track, so we used it for our end credits.
Fuck
right?
yeah.
The intro song...
The Life of Grime, you mean that album that you made where I did all that artwork for?
Yes, for the song Son of Mustard.
Sweet.
Yes. So, pop, 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 pop. We could throw that on the screen even if we wanted to. We may as well, like, stick around after the credits. We'll show you the comic strip.
Look at me, look at me.
So, where the fuck was I? Oh, so then it was like, well, now we need an intro theme. And you were over, and I was like, oh man, I have to write an intro theme. And so it was like, well,
you need to write an intro theme for our YouTube show.
Right. And I was like, what do I do, you know? And then we got to talking, and it was like, oh, it just needs to be like a quick 4-second thing, right?
That's what I,
And so I started singing things into my phone, you know, you know. What's up?
I love that you do that.
Right.
Now, you're a huge Seinfeld fan.
But I never think of Seinfeld with this.
Correct.
Yeah.
I was not a Seinfeld fan. So I was like, we need something like Seinfeld.
Well, yeah, because once we realized it just needs to be like a 4-second thing at the most.
Right, because TikTok, no one has attention span.
It was like, okay, so because if we said hi, like opening sentence, and then the theme song was like a minute long.
Too much.
No one would stick around.
Fuck off.
Are these guys gonna ever talk again?
For real.
You know?
Yeah.
So I basically was like, one day I was like, oh, I think I came up with the theme. You came over to the house.
Right.
It was probably a pizza day.
I told you I want the theme to be like you're just pulling your dick out and laying it on the table.
Easy.
Right.
So I came up with that, the line, what you hear right here.
Perfect.
So I was like, let me.
You're the baddest motherfucker, by the way.
Well, thank you.
Woo.
So I was like, well, let me just learn how to play it on the bass. Let me just learn how to play this thing on the bass. Once I figured that out, I was like, okay, well, let me just record the bass and the drums. Because I was like, those are the parts I know. Let me lay down the bass. Let me lay down the drum.
Meanwhile, you have a studio with the bass and the drum kit.
Yeah, all of it.
And the Hammond,
Right at the
the
house.
Rhodes, all of that.
Here's some pictures.
Not at the house, the new studio.
Here's a picture.
You just moved.
Yeah, here's a picture of the new control room. Here's a picture of the new live room.
Right.
Right? But I guess it was before we moved that we recorded this.
Correct.
So I was like, let me just record the drums and the bass. I just stuck one microphone, an SM57 Omni, little tape trick.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
It's all right. Everybody else does. You're the only dumb one. No, it's basically like your standard ass microphone. There's the SM58, which is the one you see everyone holding with the round thing on it. And then there's a SM57, which is kind of the same guts, but it doesn't have the globe on it. It's just. So I just put one of those on the drum. And I was like, okay, that's a good level. Do you remember this though? I was like, that's a good level. And I played it one time.
I do.
Pop, ta-da, pop, pop. And I was like, oh, I think that's good. I don't think I need to do that again. I did it one time. And then I did the bass to like match. So
well,
now
me and Macy were at the table.
Right.
And you were doing it off in the background like,
yeah.
Like you were taking a phone call or something.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't want to record the whole thing right now, but I know what the drums and bass are.
But then you got serious without telling anyone.
Well, what happened is once I got to that point,
what happened was
I was like, what else should I add?
Right.
And Maceo goes, nothing.
Correct.
He was
and
like,
I looked at him and I was like, that's right, son.
So what I was just talking about your soundtrack, so I guess it's a good thing you brought it up, is I tend to overthink music sometimes.
No way.
You know.
You?
Yeah, think about it, you know. So sometimes I will, destroy a good idea by working on it too much or something like that. Destroy inspiration, I guess.
Gotta walk away for the payday.
Yeah. So Maceo was like, nothing. And that was when I was like, okay, I guess I have to just be like, that's it.
That's when he became our producer.
Yeah.
That's when I trusted his trust.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at him like, son, you know what the
So that's
fuck
the
you're
intro.
talking
The
about.
intro happened because I was like, well, let me just record these parts that I know and then I'll work on the rest later. No, that was it. It was just, that was it. All of a sudden the intro was done on accident because I was thinking like, okay, well, this is going to have guitar on it. It's going to have organ on it or whatever. It's bass drums, and then Maceo was just like, no, that's it.
Right. So there are 3 times you interject musically, right?
Mm-hmm.
We say whatever our topic is going to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
For now,
Yeah.
right? There's no limits to what we can do.
Mm-hmm. We'll be right back.
And we want ghetto children to be happy, don't you, Chris?
And we're back.
No, so you have the intro, which is the dopest beat ever.
See, I'll put another song in there.
I hear it all the time, right?
Yeah.
And then somewhere along the middle point of the episode, you make fun of me at some point, and we break into a...
Oh, that's where you see it? I make fun of you at some point?
Isn't that what this whole show is?
I mean, maybe.
Right?
Maybe.
It's kind of like my punishment for being such a narcissist.
I mean, we'll definitely get there because I have some deep stuff to talk about with you. Okay, so the intro song. So we have the intro song. We have the middle song where I make fun of you, and then we say like, subscribe, whatever, and then there's that Fender Rhodes music, and then we have the outro song, which is "This Is a Test."
I love that.
So the other thing that is in the show are the graphics.
Like when I cut someone off, I'm hearing that music in my head.
Yeah,
Yeah. Right. Well, I don't even fucking whatever. Right, yeah. Right. I know.
You tried to slam a cell
Mom,
phone.
I'm sorry, Mom.
Yeah.
Mom, I'm sorry.
Ooh, he hung up on us. Mom.
I would never.
Whew.
I would never.
So the other thing is the graphics. So now let's talk about how those came to be. So it was one morning, we were just in the brainstorming time of this show. We hadn't even recorded any episodes.
Correct.
And you were like, we need a logo. See, like in my mind, it was like, oh, this is just going to be simple. We're going to get
Can I
together
talk
and
about it
record.
from my perspective?
Yeah, go ahead.
From my perspective is this. When I started hanging out with you, your brilliant son, who is studying robotics, he's just entering college, he's studying robotics. He was very to himself in his room, on his computer that he built,
Yes.
right?
Exactly.
I came over, and for whatever reason,
This is where Brandon talks about how cool he is.
he started hanging out with us because something about us together created something cool.
Well, he had started to come out of his room, previous to you, like coming over. But for 3 or 4 years, 6 years maybe even, he was just in his room
Wow.
playing games.
So it's a big deal
Yeah,
that he's hanging out.
yeah. So he was already starting to hang out even before you. I don't hate to break your heart.
No.
But like it was very recent.
I'm just telling you from my perspective.
Yeah. So it was very recent that he started to come out of his room and wanting to hang out with me.
Right. And it turns
and then
out,
almost immediately, then you have started to come around.
okay. And so as I meet him, he's Sagittarius, right? No, he's not. He's a Capricorn.
Is that what it is?
He's
I'm
Capricorn.
horrible with that kind of stuff.
Well, I'm a Taurus and born year of the ox. So I'm a double ox, double bull, right? And
OXOX.
exactly. Hugs and kisses. Flamboyant, right? Yeah, so my little brother is a Capricorn, and the guy that gave me all my tattoos, all my Batman tattoos, Capricorn. I really get along with Capricorns a lot, for all you star people. And our producer is a Capricorn, and him and I just fucking get along, man. And like every Capricorn I've ever met, we just get along. And
He's either gonna love this or hate it.
no, but I felt that he was a youngster in a time where young people aren't really respected right now
Right.
because of TikTok, right?
So we just think that whole generation is dumb TikTok.
Right. They have like
people.
14-second attention spans, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Right? Can't watch a movie without looking at their phone.
Yeah.
Can't listen to a lecture. Like, ooh, Idiocracy. Everyone. Did you know Idiocracy? They wear Crocs in Idiocracy.
Yep.
Because it was supposed to be shoes for stupid people.
Yeah, I know about that whole
And
thing.
everyone started buying them. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I have a pair.
Do you really?
I have Barista Crocs.
Barista Crocs?
They're Crocs with no holes in it, so you can wear.
Oh,
and
I
they're-
understand.
They're all white,
Yeah.
so I can wear my white house shoes. But if I spill when I'm cooking,
I gotcha.
it doesn't burn my feet. Right?
Good for you.
It's very Asian.
Shout out to Wax Villain with his Crocs.
No, but anyway, what were we talking about? Idiocracy.
So we were-
Oh yeah. So I met this kid, your kid, and he's very much. So I knew you when you were 19. He's very.
I mean, we've known each other even before that.
right,
But yeah, he's
he's
19.
very much like you, and I'm like, wow, I like this guy, right? And for some reason, he is not appalled by me. And so
exactly, that's the perfect way to put it.
And so we were hanging out in the backyard trying to figure out what even the fuck are we going to do,
Right.
right? And as you started describing what you wanted the logo to be like, because you told me
No, well, hold on.
you told me you wanted the logo, and I go, could you describe it to me again?
No. Hold. So even before that, we didn't even touch on this. So you were like, we need a logo. We need a logo.
Because we're talking about music and we're talking about graphics.
Right. I know. Yeah, we're talking about basically the makeup of this show.
Sure.
So you texted me one morning and were like, we need a logo. See, like in my mind, going back, I just was like, oh, great, we're just gonna have to get together and talk. This is great. And then you're like, we need a logo, we need thumbnails, we need this. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, that sounds like a lot.
Right.
But you were like, we need a logo. And I was like, In 5 minutes later, I was like, here, how about this? And it was basically what our logo is. And you were like, holy shit.
Right.
Like, you just turned that around.
Right.
And then it was probably the next...
You described exactly what you wanted.
Yeah.
I thought it was amazing.
Yeah. So then it was either the next day or the day after that. We're here in
Correct.
the backyard.
Smoking.
So pick it back up.
Right. So as we're smoking, and I'm asking you, okay, now I'm about to get down on this. Describe to me what the logo is again.
Yeah.
And you're describing it to me as we're smoking the joint that I rolled.
It's a cup of coffee.
Right.
The top of the cup of coffee is a record.
Maceo
Hand is coming
is
in.
sitting down,
Yeah.
who does not smoke.
And he's across from me, so I can't see his iPad.
Correct. He's on the iPad. His little white pencil is working around, and you and I are having a conversation about the logo while we smoke weed. He does not smoke weed, and he is drawing the logo, and I don't even know it.
And I don't know it either. I clearly don't know it.
And when he shows you the logo later and you share it with me, I'm like, that's it.
Yeah, so that's the logo.
And I'm an artist.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no, I couldn't do better than that.
Yeah, that's the logo.
That's the logo.
We were just talking yesterday about how it's simultaneously like very angular, like
At first, you didn't like the hexagonal hand.
well, yeah, because it seemed too angular,
No, I loved it.
but it's at the same time punk rock as
It's
well.
the only thing that's angular on that whole thing.
True. I mean, but the oval for the top of the coffee, like that's all very perfect ovals,
Sure.
you know. But yeah.
But those,
But
ding,
that's yeah.
ding.
But that's the logo. He just with me describing it to you,
right.
unbeknownst.
Well, I think you said something along the
I
lines.
almost cried.
I could almost look it up, but you were like, here's like, right.
Yeah.
You could expand on it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, there's no need to expand on this logo.
Yeah.
This logo's perfect.
So that's the logo.
It's the logo.
So that's what you're seeing in the show.
Right.
You see the music I created, his logo, some artwork soon,
Sure.
and
Right.
yeah.
Well, that's why I posted, because the first time that I ever posted about our show, right,
Was a sketch you did,
was a sketch that I did
which will pop up here too.
with music provided by you. And then the next photo is the logo by Maceo.
Right.
And it's the three of us doing the I Am show.
Yep.
And then at some point in time, we'll talk about why we called ourselves the I Ams. Because when we got together, and I was like, it was for no reason. I was like, hey, check this out.
Well, you were starting to say it all the time, and I was like, I
Right.
don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I kept saying, I am. Who do you think you are? I am, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you were like, what? And then I showed you what was going on, and you were like, wait.
I guess that's true. So you go continue on with how we came up with the name of the show. I mean, we're still talking about this.
All right. So I don't know what happened, but there is a bowler called Pete Weber, right? He's since retired.
This thing is way more popular. I had never heard it until you.
Same.
This thing is so popular.
I don't know anything about it.
Okay, go on.
And for whatever reason, because I have YouTube Premium, I don't know why or how, but it came up in my recommended. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I clicked it. And it was this professional bowler is a man in his, I want to say, late 50s, 60s? 60s.
Sure.
We're in our 50s, and I still breakdance, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Or he had to be in his 60s, right? I still
I
fuck
bet-
strong,
I bet-
ladies.
I bet he was in his mid-50s.
My back is strong, right? No, he was in his 60s,
Okay.
right? And he is, unbeknownst to us, he is about to bowl a perfect game in a championship,
Yes.
right? But we don't know. He's getting heckled
By a 12-year-old.
by a 12-year-old in the audience. And this petty, shallow man,
This is revenge.
who is a millionaire bowler,
Mm-hmm.
right, is like, fuck you, little kid,
Yeah.
right? And it's the last,
I'll show you.
right. And when you hit play on the YouTube show, you can hear the announcers, a strike to take it,
Yeah, yeah.
a strike to claim it, right? A perfect 300 ball, right? And Pete Weber does not disappoint. He holds that ball like, watch this, boy. And he pulls that back like the devil himself gave him all the power. And he shoots that shit out like the Pointer Sisters Sesame Street.
Ooh, do.
Ah! Exactly, right?
Uh-huh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Pins.
Yeah.
They all go down. Mm-hmm. And Pete Weber loses his shit.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll stand back.
No, he fucking yells out, "That's right, I did it! God damn it, I did it!" Right? He's yelling.
Yep.
He looks right at that 12-year-old, right? On camera live.
Yep.
The whole world watching him, and he doesn't give a shit.
Close up.
He's looking at that kid. "Who do you think you are? I am! Get it right!" And he's never been higher in his life.
How am I going to fix that audio?
Dude, I just kicked the shit out of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I showed that to you, you started cracking up, right?
I was probably the right amount of high, too.
And I think it was a week later when we decided we're going to have a YouTube show. And I'm like, what should we call it? And you're like, the I Ams.
Well, because it had become such a thing. It had become such a thing in our lives.
Right.
We were sharing this I am thing.
It was the most petty and shallow moment I've ever seen of a mature man that has everything he ever wanted, like belittling a child.
And this is who you are.
It was.
I mean,
it's what I'm trying to overcome, Chris
We've talked
Lujan.
about this.
It's what I'm trying to overcome, Chris Lujan.
Exactly.
I am Pete Weber, and I'm trying to get better.
Uh-huh. That's going to be the topic of this show.
God damn it.
Not this episode, the whole show.
God damn it. A transition of Bindu the asshole into...
the monk that you are now.
I'm trying, man. I have bonsai trees. I keep my dick in my pants.
So, yeah. So the music, I created the music, and you heard the story about that. I pitched the logo. Maceo drew it. It's Maceo's completely, you know.
I would agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it, he's going to sue us. Later on in life, he's going to sue us and get his logo back. Damn.
Yeah. Fuck.
Strike to claim it, a strike to claim it, and he got